Hey folks, Rob here, and I got this thing here, and y'all know my tiny house, my cabin, my home, whatever, however you want to refer to it. It's my home. It was a shed. Now it's going away from being a shed to being a home. And I've been here over a year now, and I really have had no plumbing. You know, and the hold up on that is that I got before I ever moved this thing in here, I got the okay from the utility companies to tap into my daughter's water and sewer, because it eventually be hers. It's just like an outbuilding of extension of her property, so they okayed for it to be tapped onto hers, and that's well and good. But up in her front yard, they have a sewer grinder pump. Well, I can't run my sewage without I got three options, and all of them, none of them are. This is the cheapest one, and this ain't real cheap, but okay, I can get a macerating toilet and install it in my house, which would be basically I'll be grinding up sewage in my house and pumping it because the line coming out from the sewage is only like 1.5 inches or 1.75 inches, 2 inch. It's not a sewer line like we think of a sewer line. So anyway, I'd have to install either a macerating toilet, or I'm going to have to come out here and put in my own grinder station. And I thought I could do it on the cheap, but in researching this, and I've been thinking about this, how I'm going to do this for a year now. So what I've decided to do, and my third option, is a composting toilet. Now, you're probably thinking, Rob, you're going to use a composting toilet? So, yeah, this will allow me to run my water line in and connect to the sewer system going out from all my gray water, and to put all my gray water, because I don't need to grind water. All I need to do is get it into the pipe and let it flow into the sewage. So I don't have to grind. I can let all of my other water from my cabin, my shower, my sinks, everything can go into the sewer line, and just use it kind of like a gray water line that goes out into the sewer. And then the composting toilet won't need water, it will need a little bit of electric. But so anyway, let me open it up. You guys may not be aware of this kind of stuff. In other countries, this is pretty common, like in for off the grid places and cabins and little shanties, but this is pretty. A lot of this technology is from Europe, and this is Trobolo, and I think Trobolo has a place here in the United States. I'm pretty sure. I did reach out to them about a sponsorship, and they didn't have any interest in that. They really have no. They have everything I've watched on this has been a European or Australian, so there really is nothing much done by an American. So I thought that American ought to be me. But I know a lot of people use these in RVs and campers and off-grid situations. So this is going to be my new toilet. So I'm going to walk you through the kit I bought, because this is a kit. This is the components I need, and the rest of my toilet, if you can see here in the back of the truck, is a piece of plywood. Now that's going to become the base, the box for the toilet, for the system. So I'm going to open it up and go through the components with you, show you what you get and kind of how it works. So I've already opened this, so let me flip it up here. Inside your box, of course, you get packing. And they make two different sizes of these. One is a little unit, and I didn't think it would be, too. I think I'd be cleaning it out a lot. Now inside here, this is your waste bucket. This is what you would do your number 2 in. And of course, you get a couple diverters here. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And then you get some paperwork. And I love Trobolo. And one of the things I loved about uh, their marketing is on their webpage. If you go look it up, it's pretty cheeky. It says, Trobolo, just shit on it. Which I got a twisted sense of humor. So that is your bucket and your lid. And of course, you can put a little liner in this and use peat moss, and that will be your solids. And then you get this Trobolo. I think this is a 2.5 gallon urine jug. So the urine will go into here, and the solids will go into the bucket. And since the urine and the solids never mix, it's not considered raw sewage. I can put a little peat moss in the bucket. When I go, cover it with peat moss. Repeat. Once a bucket gets a little bit in it, tie the bag up, throw it in the trash. It's not considered sewage. There's no regulations on disposing of it if it's in that form. Now, from what I understand, when you mix urine and fecal matter together, then you get that's black water. That's sewage. So, and that's where your smell comes from. The reaction between the particles of the urine and the stuff in it, along with the bacteria and stuff, creates that smell. So anyway, you got your jug here, 2.5 gallons. And then the heart of the system is this right here. This is called a urine diverter. It's a fancy name for a toilet seat. This goes into your unit. You build the box. This sits in there like this. Your bucket will sit like that. And then your spout here will drop into that. So when you do your business, your solids go in here, your liquids go in here, and they are separated. And this is the heart of the system. This is what keeps it separate. Now, this is a very heavy plastic piece. And of course, them little diverters I show you can go on right here. Now, I've also read regulations that I would not have to use the diverter, the jug. You can actually legally put a hose on this, run this out through your floor. You could run it into your gray water, so it could go into your gray water line. Or you can dig a pit. You can fill gravel and sand, and let this go directly back into the earth. But most people want to save it because you mix your urine with 50% water and dilute it, and it's excellent for watering trees and flowers and things of that nature. You don't want to use it on your garden, but same goes for this. This compost can be composted. You could have a compost pile over somewhere in the corner of your yard and mix this all together, and in a year or two, you have what they call humanure, which is human compost. I'm not doing that. Mine will go in the trash. So anyway, that is the heart of the Trobolo system here. And up next, we're going to be building this thing. So that'll be another video. But I got the stuff here, or most of the stuff. Still got to get a toilet seat. Now, guys, I said all the ways were expensive. And that's true. You look at this and you're looking at a bucket, a diverter, and a jug, all of which you could probably cobble up around the house. This system right here is $129 for this. This alone is $100, this piece of plastic. But this is the heart of the system. So once the plywood and the nails and everything, the hinges, the toilet seat, I'm going to be into this about $200, which is more than you can go buy a porcelain toilet for at Lowe's. So it's more expensive to shit in a bucket than it is to go to Lowe's and buy a traditional toilet. So some irony in that if you think about it. But anyway, guys, thought I'd bring you along and show you my Trobolo. And in the future, Trobolo, I'm going to shit on you. Thanks for watching.